to our current one was very shocking. That it's an increase the size of the population of Greece, finding some 28 million people living in forced labour and 22 million people living in forced marriages. The increase in forced labour is driven entirely due to the private economy into global supply chains of the goods we buy and use every single day. Shockingly, children make up some 25% of the overall figure. Women and girls remain disproportionately impacted, and we're now looking down the barrel of 50 million people living in modern slavery on any given day, as well as the world leaders not really doing enough to step up and ending it.
Right, thank you. I'm curious about the way we define this. Maybe I can bring Matt in here, because what we're talking about is forced labor and forced marriage. I know that a lot of people might think about slavery the way it was 150 years ago, and they think that doesn't exist now. But Matt, can you help us with the definition? What does modern slavery look like?
Modern slavery is basically a situation where a person is tricked and deceived into a scenario where they're taken away from their community and forced to work, and often they don't get paid. The forced marriage side of the equation is basically an individual who is married at a very young age and doesn't consent, or somebody who's forced into a marriage whereby when they get there, it's not kind of a traditional marriage that we would kind of say where there's love and affection and everything else. They're basically brought in the family to kind of support the other family members in that situation. The reason why they put modern next to the word slavery is because the slavery of today is different from the slavery of 150 years ago. There are a whole different set of different types of indicators that are used to measure it through auditing, through supply chains and so forth. And as a result of that, we have kind of to look at this a little bit different than we have in modern slavery, or the slavery that we had in years past.
And Sophie, you've come this week from, to the UNGA to talk about this issue. Can you tell me how this is being received there? Is there a surprise there at the, I guess the big jump that this report is, kind of the top line of this report is how many more people we're now talking about here?
Yes, definitely the jump is something that people are shocked about. And I think there are two sets of people, right? There's those of us who work with frontline organizations, and our frontline organizations who have always known that the numbers are higher than what can be detected or are currently